So hi guys, welcome to the part 2 of building this chunky Lenovo ThinkPad T420. In the last episode, if you didn't see it, we put 16 gigabytes of RAM, we put 9 cell battery, we installed Windows 7 and put new SSD inside of it. And today we put new CPU, Ivy Bridge i7. We will need to Coreboot this machine because the Ivy Bridge is a newer generation of CPUs and it will not work. So first step, what we are going to do is to update the BIOS as a first step. That's why we downloaded Windows 7 last episode. So now we can update the BIOS and then we will need to disassemble it to the motherboard. And after that we will flash the BIOS chip with Coreboot. If you don't know what Coreboot is, it's an open source alternative to BIOS. So yeah, we will download it, we will flash it, and then it should support our new i7 CPU. So let's not waste your time and let's get right into it. As a first thing, as I said, I did was to flash the BIOS. I used this ThinkPad BIOS update utility that was downloaded from the Lenovo page. And after that, I get to the disassembling of the laptop itself. I was watching some YouTube video. He did it in like 30 minutes with showing all the screws and etc. Took me a little bit longer, maybe like 45 minutes with the following the video. The process was a little bit involved and not too much difficult, but a lot of parts because you need to get the motherboard out of the magnesium body. It's not the easiest laptop to disassemble. So as you can see, we have the motherboard out of the body, and right now we are going to locate the BIOS chip and start to proceed with the procedure. We are going to need this programmer, is the CH314 and Linux laptop or Windows, but on the Linux you are going to use the Flash ROM software. That is open source software for flashing IC chips, or the Windows, as I said. And on the Windows you are going to use the Neo programmer software. It has GUI, so it's a little bit easier, but yeah, it doesn't matter what works for you. So where is the BIOS chip? Is the small chip on the side of the motherboard with the pink dot. When did you successfully locate it? We are going to put the clip on the BIOS chip. If you don't know where to put it, this is a diagram. You could stop it. And right now I'm going to try explain it to the diagram. So on the left side we can see the programmer. On the right side we have the diagram of the chip with the correct orientation, how it should be transferred onto the programmer. That's why we are going to use the clip, because we can easily access the 4 pins on the left side of the chip and the 4 pins on the right side of the chip. And with cables you can transfer the information to the correct position on the programmer. You can use the multimeter with the beeping mode to check if the connection is correct. So you put it on the 1 pin of the clip and then put it in the end of the cable. and then you are going to see on the top right diagram how you should put it into the programmer. Doesn't really matter how, if it's with the clip or is it with the jumper cables. I will show both options. Actually, we have three ways of transferring this chip into the programmer in this video. You just need to, in the right orientation, transfer those pins onto the programmer. It's not that hard. I think when I understand it, somehow you could do. It's not that hard. So the first way how to do it, I just put the clip on the BIOS chip and the other side to the programmer and plug it into the Linux laptop. This method is like the easiest, but I was not able to get it working because I don't know if the clip is bad or I'm just somehow stupid. I just couldn't get it work, the connection. I just copied these comments that should make a backup of the BIOS chip, and I just get error that programmer initialization failed. Actually, I get 3 errors because it should made like 3 backups of the chip, and then we should like compare if the backup is same as first one as the second one and the third one to be really sure of the backup. But that didn't work, so I just destroyed the clip and just jumper cables to the pin holes on the side of the BIOS chip and tried to connect it this way, and that didn't work either. In the guide that I will leave link in the description, was able to make it happen with the jumper cables, and this was his setup. So you can pause it here, you can see the jumper cables and the pins where you should put it. I need to do the third, the most involved version of this approach. So I just desolder the chip from the motherboard and just solder it right on this adapter. As you can see, the adapter have 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers, and the other side has the 5 to 8. And you just need to be sure that you put it in the right order. I just navigated the first diagram, but put it right on the adapter, not the cables. Then we hit the detect button. We have 2 options here. The guy in the guide was using the commands that should just pick one of the 2. So you just pick one of the 2. Is the 061 or the 081. Then you can just start reading the chip. A little time lapse. And we have successfully read the chip. You definitely want to back up this one, because if anything will went wrong, you can just flash the backup on the chip and you will be ready to go with the old BIOS, but it will not break your laptop. When we save the backup, we can now load the Coreboot. Again, I used compiled version of Coreboot from the guy that did the guide. I'm not really sure of his name, but it's in the description. I will leave his GitHub page and the blog that he did. We open his version and erase the chip. Now it's gonna wipe everything from the IC chip, and then we can start writing on the chip. I used his version because it was tested. It should support our Ivy Bridge new CPU, the 3rd generation, and have all the support of the Wi-Fi cards, I think, and the other upgrades. So I just didn't want to compile my own BIOS, so I just used his, and it works for me. So shout out to that guy. It's very, very good work. So we write it, we got success, we verified the chip, and we got success also. So now I just close the window, and we are hoping that everything actually went good, and just unplug the programmer. Right now we need to desolder the BIOS chip from the adapter and solder it back to the motherboard. So yeah, we desolder it. The soldering process is not like the hardest one, but definitely not the easiest one. But I don't have really good skills, but I was able to do it. And with multimeter you can check via these holes if the connection is right and if you don't have a short circuit. So with the beeping mode you can just go by the diagram of the guy that used the jumper cables, and you can just check it and confirm it. I solder it okay, no short, so I just remove the old CPU, out with the old and in with the new. This new CPU is, as I said, Ivy Bridge 3rd generation i7. The orientation to this socket, you can see in the bottom left corner is a small arrow that you want to align with the arrow on the socket, and just tighten it, but not too much, just so it does not move. Okay, so the last step of verifying is everything working. We plug in the keyboard, we plug in the heatsink with the cooler, we plugged in the screen, and we plug in the SSD. Right now we can check if it will boot up, and it will, maybe, yes. We had the Coreboot logo, so the Coreboot was successfully flashed, and I just had the problem to boot the Windows. So be careful, maybe you will not be able to boot the Windows from the SSD. So I will be reinstalling it, but for now I'm happy that it works somehow. As you can see, we have 16 gigs of RAM and the i7 3620QM 3632QM, the Ivy Bridge i7. It detected, so yeah, it works. And the last step, the final one, is to reassemble the laptop. I almost forgot for the finishing touches of removing the i5 Intel sticker. A little bit of cleaning with isopropyl alcohol, and probably a lot of you will just leave it as it is, but I decided to put the i7 sticker from the newer generation of laptops. So it's just the small detail of having the i7 sticker. And as a sneak peek for next episode, what we are going to do is putting the new operating system on this machine. So thank you for watching. I will see you in the next episode where we will be installing the Arch Linux. So hope you are having a great day, and goodbye.